could start over, we could start over, we could start over. Oh, for the lonely.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. It is Wednesday. It's muted over here. Mute. There we go. God only knows. All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 1317. My name is Sean Murphy. I'll be your host here for the next little bit. 5-time number one best-selling author, founder, creator of your Secret Sauce Academy, the Self-Talk Academy, and a variety of other things. So, your Warrior Brain Training Community. Hey, good morning, C-Wavy One. So, a question for you today. This month is all about leadership. We are one day away from the live. Oh, let me take this off so you guys can see me over here. We're one day away from the live event here at the ranch, Rocky Creek Ranch, The Path. This event is going to unlock some truly limiting beliefs that you have and help you identify and line out a path for the next 12 months. Not to mention the ongoing conversations that'll happen afterwards. So for those of you that are traveling to the ranch tomorrow, and some of you may be starting your travels today, driving in, welcome to the ranch, to the second live event. The first one was called The Journey, and this one is called The Path. So that being said, my question for you is this month, every month this year in 2022, we've taken a topic. We've taken a singular topic each month, and we've really dived into it. We really dove into the topic. We dissected it. We tore it apart. We put it back together. We tore it apart again. We put it back together. And this month, you're going to want to maybe invite some people, share this with some friends. This one's on leadership. And I'm going to challenge your leadership muscle. I'm going to challenge your leadership techniques. I'm going to challenge your leadership strategies because I'm going to challenge your state. So here's a state question for you. You ready? This is not strategy. This is state. I want you to pay attention to it. Here's the question. Where does leadership live in you? Kind of a crazy day, isn't it? Kind of a crazy day. Where does your leadership live in you? If you ask yourself that question, you go into state. You're looking for story, you're looking for strategy, but it's one of those QLQs, a quantum linguistic question. So my question again is, where does leadership live in you? If you had to pick a spot, if you had to pick a location, let's just pick a location. Most people will pick their head. All right, where does leadership live in you? Up here. That might be a reason why people aren't following you. Because if nobody's following you, you're out for a walk. So, where does leadership live? Does it live in your heart? If it lives in your heart, here's the challenge. If it lives in your heart, the challenge is you might get run over all the time. How close does leadership live to you? Sometimes leadership doesn't live in your body. It lives about a foot away from you. Leadership is something you should do, something you should become, something you should work on. And therefore, it's not in you. So it's like right out here. It's like right here's my leadership. I can feel my leadership. When I step in, what do people mostly say? Step into leadership role. Step into your leadership. So what happens when you step into your leadership? It means you weren't in it already. Exactly. And haters, Celeste. So haters are confused followers. Kim Pathaway, Real Talk Kim, amazing woman. I had dinner with her one time in Biloxi, Mississippi. She spoke at an event I was at, and it was awesome to just have a conversation with you. And we still chat every now and then. She's grown her IG following to over 1 million. Still just a cool cat. She's amazing. And she's the one that taught me that haters are not haters. They're just confused followers. Otherwise they wouldn't be following you. If haters got to say stuff to you, they're following you. They're just confused followers. I love that. So you don't know that you're in trouble. You don't know that you're pushing the envelope till somebody goes, you're pushing the envelope. So where does leadership live for you? Where does it live? Does it live in your feet? Some people, it lives in their feet. You know what I mean? Here, listen carefully. It lives in their feet because they walk away. They walk away from their success. Listen, I was listening to your live yesterday and tonight, and I got a barrage of confused followers. I love it. Hey, listen, thanks for your courage for saying that. So here's the thing. I think Celestina Muse, maybe that's how it's pronounced. When you start to change your frequency, when you start to lead yourself, here's the thing that happens. Here's the challenge that takes place. When you start to lead yourself, there's kind of a vacuum that opens up because you are the one moving you. See, if everybody else is pushing you, pulling you, they're either pulling you into their mess or they're pushing you and they're giving space for their mess to fill in behind you. When you start to lead you literally create a vacuum. You create this open space for things to fill in. And partly the things that fill it in are some of our deeper fears. So there's a chance possibly that as you start to take care of you, start to step into your own world. Hi, Deborah. Thank you. So thank you for making it easier for me to recognize you. So here's the idea. Leadership, it's inside of you. And if it's not inside of you, guess what happens? You're borrowing somebody else's, and that's okay. It's okay to borrow somebody else's to build yours. If you keep borrowing somebody else's, here's what it looks like. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. Did he just play a song from like the 80s? Yeah. I think it's probably from maybe even earlier. Good morning, best crazy yet. Best Casey yet, sorry. Best crazy yet. Dr. Freud to the lobby. Dr. Freud to the lobby. Sorry, Casey. Best Casey yet. When you borrow somebody else's leadership, the way we borrow it is we use scripts, we use PowerPoints, we use other people's conversations, we use other people's technology. When we start to use ours, now I'm not asking you to go reinvent the wheel. I'm not telling you to go reinvent the wheel. What I am saying, what I am suggesting, what I am inviting you to do is to start to realize how amazing you are. If you have little ones, you're a leader. Thank you for leading the next generation of this planet. It's one of the most unsung jobs out there, being a mom, being a dad, being a parent, especially in today's conversations. Mason had some back issues the other day, and he went to a chiropractor and they did some x-rays, and they're talking about he's got a little work need to be done on his neck and his back, but more on a little on his neck. And I said, did he say that's because your head is like this so often looking at your phone? He said, yeah, it could have a little something to do with that. I said, so your dad wasn't a complete goofball? Sometimes we have to be okay with somebody else providing the leadership documentation, the leadership verification, the leadership validation to what we're saying. What's that phrase that you've heard in the Bible? You're never a prophet in your own land. Maybe it's possible you're never a leader in your own lagoon. I just did that for alliteration. But some people do feel like when they're leading, they're in a swamp. They feel like they're getting their butt kicked. Somebody's draining the swamp and all the alligators are chomping on you when you step into your leadership role. But sometimes we're not the leader in our own area. So that being said, if we're not the leader in our own area, what does it mean that we should do? It means we have to have, and this is, listen carefully. This is carefully, listen. We have to go out, and here's going to be a hard part. This is going to sit heavy on some of y'all's hearts. We have to go out and get testimonials. We have to go out and have other people say, we're kind of good at what we do. Because if we have other people say it, it's not us bragging. If you tell me one more time, Sean, you're a 5-time #1 best-selling author, whoop-de-doo. I don't say it for you. I say it for the new listener so that they can have a little bit of, oh, this guy might know what he's talking about. The reason I mentioned neuroencoding specialist, the reason I mentioned brain trained by the Amen Institute, the reason I mentioned mental toughness by the Gove Siebold community, the reason I talk about self-talk from the Self-Talk Institute, the reason I mention I'm a faculty member of the Self-Talk Institute. It's not for you. You know I'm a chucklehead. You know I'm a goofball. You know I have fun. You also know I know what the hell I'm talking about. But if somebody comes onto the call and they see me wearing a hat that was given to me at the last event, Her Majesty's humble servant, I'm in a t-shirt. There's a rooster on the wall right over there, painted by my bride, Michelle Murphy. Artist, Michelle Murphy. And all of these things, it's to lend credibility. It's to give people a chance to understand that I have put in the hours. I have put in the time. I can lead you from where you are to where you want to go, not to where I want you to go. See, that's a harder class to teach. For me, it's easy to teach you where I'm going. It's easy for me to teach you where I'm doing. It's easy for me to teach you what I want to know, but it's harder for me to teach you where you need to go, because I've got to create a way for that inspiration, that enthusiasm to fire up the God within, to light that fire of motivation within you. Because the second I'm off of here at the top of the hour, you're on your own again. You are left to your own devices. And if you're left to your own devices, we wind up in a habitual action. We wind up our environment. Dr. Joe Dispenza says your personal reality, everything around you makes up your personality. How many of you have a drawer in your kitchen that you just shove stuff in? Drop a K in the chat. If you have a drawer in your kitchen, you just shove stuff into, and you say you have it on a calendar that one day you're going to clean that drawer out. Well, we have that in our spirit as well. We have this one place in our spirit. Some of us, it's bigger than a Foot Locker. Some of us, it might be as big as the Taj Mahal. It's a place where we shove all of our unwanted feelings. It's a place where we shove all of our concerns, all of our feelings, all of our wants and wishes, and we shove them over there so we don't have to deal with them right now. Because if we dealt with them, boy, we'd wind up in that downward spiral of, oh my God, I can't believe this, and I haven't done that, and I haven't done this, and I haven't done that. So here's what I want you to know. First of all, you got a drawer, right? You got a drawer. You got a drawer full of stuff. You got a room full of stuff. Congratulations. You know how many people that don't have a room full of stuff, mentally, emotionally, physically? They are so broken. They look all together. Drop a B in the chat if you know somebody who's absolutely broken and shattered, but man, on the outside, they look like freaking hot. They look all together, and they're broken on the inside. See, here's what happens with leadership. Leadership, the most destructive word a leader could use, listen carefully, the most destructive word a leader could use, and I want you to drop an S in the chat if anybody has ever said this to you. You should. You should. If anybody has ever dropped that word on you, you should, they are not a mentor. They are not a coach. They are a criminal of a phenomenon known as injected values. We say it to our kids all the time. Well, you should be better. You should do this. And you listen, I understand being a parent. I understand that. I'm talking about the real world, the business world, the place where you decide to create an income. And drop them on their heads. If somebody says you should, they are not a mentor. Do you know why people say you should? So let me ask you, I want you to just take a step back. I want you to become the reporter. I want you to put your hat on, the hat with the brim on. Wait a second. Let me do this here real quick. I want you to go find your reporter's hat. This isn't really a reporter's hat, but it'll work for the conversation. So I want you to put on your reporter's hat, right? It's got the little thing here that says press. I want you to put on your reporter's hat, and I want you to listen to what I'm about to share with you. This is leadership. I want you to pay attention to how you are being led and what people are calling leadership, and how much it's not leadership. If I tell you you should, where does my should come from? Besides an orifice in my body. Oh, you're shoulding all over me. Where does my should come from? Does it come from my future desires, wants, and wishes? Or is it coming from my limited past pain and suffering and my temporary success? See, the challenge the majority of people have is you have temporary success. You have temporary leadership. You have temporary skills. So when somebody says you should, know that, listen, you can hear them. Here's what I want you to do. You now have your universal translator. When somebody says you should, you hear this. I don't know what the hell to tell you, but here's the only thing I can give you guidance on. I don't know what to tell you. Here's the only thing I can give you guidance on. And it should be this. How many of you, drop a 1 in the chat if you've known anybody who was giving you ideas that they've never tried? They were giving you theory. They were doing leadership theory. Welcome to University of the Bullshit, and welcome to Leadership Theory 101. Well, I will tell you all of the ways that you can have your success while I sit and struggle and have absolutely zero results. So then you got to put your reporter's hat on. Just the facts, ma'am. So you got to put your reporter hat on. And when you put your reporter's hat on, you can start to listen and not feel limited. Too many times we listen and it limits our capability. It limits our capacity. We're not listening to grow. We're listening to our limiting beliefs. You hear me? It takes a true mentor. So here, let me give you the definitions again of the 3 types of coaches. There's a teacher. The teacher will teach you what you need to know. And we all need teachers. I need teachers. There's coaches, and coaches are the people that you sign up for, and you say, hey, listen, I want to get my golf swing better. I want to learn how to publicly speak better. I want to learn how to adjust my self-talk. See, I'm a coach in those areas. The benefit of having a conversation and working with me is that not only am I a coach in those areas, I'm also a mentor in those areas. And here's what a mentor does. Remember, teacher teaches you what you need to know. A coach will teach you what you want to do better. A mentor, listen carefully, will teach you how to do things you didn't know you could. Will teach you how to do things you didn't know you could. So imagine if you came to them and you said, hey, listen, I have a desire to get better in my network marketing business. All right. So we need to work on your self-talk. We need to work on your introduction. We need to work on your energy. We need to work on your tone, because if we only work on 7% of success, meaning the words, if we only speak on 7% of the successful part of a presentation, the words are only 7%. you're going to have a 93% chance of it going right out the window. So now, hey, Blondie, 081479. Hey, Blondie, how are you? Thank you for being here. Hands up, high five. And unless those were two hands to my face, boom. I don't think they were. I'm just playing. So if you want somebody to not only train you, teach you what you need to know, coach you on how to do it best, but mentor you to do it in your world, in your version, in your language, in your energy. And for those of you just recently joining me, we have my press hat on because I've become a reporter on how to find your success. So going back to the question then, what is it? Oh, Casey, thank you. Best Casey yet. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for inviting Blondie. And Blondie, listen, if Casey invited you, so I'm going to make an educated guess here. If Casey, and based upon her response and throwing up the fires and all of this, if she's loving what I'm saying, she has a huge heart to inspire the world. And if she invited you and you said yes to jump over here to this conversation, birds of a feather do flock together. So I want to thank both of you for making the world a better place, making my world a better place. Let me be very selfish for just a moment. Thanks for making my world a better place. And I know that if you do that for me, you do that for others. And most people don't say thank you. So listen for just a second. Casey, Blondie, thank you for all of those people you've helped and all of those people you're about to help and all of those people who are on their way to helping. You're on your way to helping. Thank you, because they're going to forget to say yes. So it's just exciting to see when somebody invites somebody to come listen to me, right? Farm boy from Ohio, 0.9 grade point average. Has now stood on stage in over 30 plus countries, translated into over 40 different languages. And I have now a 30-acre ranch that I get to invite people to do live events. And I've got 8 friends coming in, 8 business partners, 8 mental giants coming in. We're going to spend 3 days really diving in and decisioning out, right? Decision cut off. We're going to decision out some old beliefs that are keeping them stuck. So I'm not going to shoot, but you 30-minute combo with Sean. Yes, you can go to Calendarly something. Hold on, I'll just throw that out there. Calendarly login. So where does leadership live with you? Let me ask you that. Where does leadership live with you? That's the question. When you understand where leadership lives inside of you, you'll be able to access it when you need it. If you ever say to yourself, oh, I should have done that, you're shooting all over yourself. Here's the thing, though. If you knew you should have done it, what's keeping you from doing it? So, yes, if you go to Calendly, let's see if I just copy it. It's CALENDLY.com, Calendly, right? That place. I can say it, but I could write it. Calendly, it just doesn't come out. Calendly.com/warrior brain, and we can you can do a self-talk 30-minute one-on-one conversation, whatever it is. You'll just see one of those on there. Be my present to you. So I love you, ton. So here's my question. Oh, it's already at the top of the hour, is it? Oh, we got 5 minutes. Decide where leadership lives in you. And listen, it can move. It can move. Sometimes it'll live in your hands when you're writing notes. Sometimes it'll live in your feet when you're serving others. Sometimes it'll, how about this? Y'all ready for this? Sometimes leadership lives in your eyes. You know that look you give your kids? You know the look you give your kids when you don't have to say a word and they're like, oh, crap, mom's on a path. Sometimes leadership can live in your eyes. I don't know what's going on up here. Why is that? Not sure if I lost my power or signal. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's going back and forth. I don't know. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure it out. How about now? That might be something. Testing 1, 2, 3. I plugged in a charger and it seems like it did something to the volume. Interesting. Well, I'm going to spend a little more time with you on Instagram. There we go. Okay, hang on. I'm going to come back to you on Instagram. Let me go ahead and tell YouTube, I love you bunches. I appreciate you, YouTube. You are an amazing platform and an amazing group of people. And I will see you where? I'll see you at the next event. Love you tons.